I am Anthony Williams, and I am a physical education teacher located at Saparia East Secondary School. Technology integration into the lesson is something that I would say is something that would work for us in terms of engagement, student engagement, and at the same time, I would say it's something that is difficult to implement in terms of our context because our school has issues in terms of internet connections. It's steady breaking down. Even to carry out the online role is an issue, right? When we have too many persons on the system, the bandwidth is not enough to be shared, so you have freezing above whatever pages you may be on, and that is an issue where time is concerned. Now, incorporating the technological tools that we have learned in the TI course into our lesson, or my lesson I should say, it's a good idea, right? So it gives that hands-on experience for the students to keep them engaged and active, something that captures their attention. Now, the tool I used was the Merge Cube. All right. Now, this would appeal to the visual learners. All right. Not so much the skin aesthetic, but there is some sort of hands-on where you have to manipulate and turn the cube so you can see the different angles. All right. Persons or children, I would say students, young adults, they tend to gravitate to technology. Simple things as cellular phones. They are always on their phone, whether it be social media, having a conversation. These technology capture their attention. And this was something that I use as a strong point, or one of the strengths in terms of capturing their attention and keeping them engaged in the lesson. All right. It's something that is not considered the traditional methods where we talk about this old method of the chalk and talk that will tend to bore the students because they keep seeing this thing over and over, and bringing something new to the classroom was something that would, as I mentioned before, capture their attention. I know you're hearing it many times in this video, but yeah, it is something that would capture their attention, and it's something that actually captured my attention. So, as a young adult myself, I thought that this was something was ideal to include in my lesson. Now, my lesson was a lesson on the digestive system. It was a theory lesson. All right. So this was the perfect time to incorporate this. This was at the Form 3 level. So, there is a space where the students are not that mature, and they're kind of on the verge to reaching a higher level of maturity because they are now preparing themselves to go to the upper school level in Form 4. All right. So these students are sometimes easily distracted, and in incorporating this in the lesson, they were fully engaged. The distractions were very minimal. It had to be something that was very serious to take their attention away from this lesson because they were actually engaged in this thing. Now, this lesson required internet connection. It required smart devices, whether it's maybe phone or tablets. Now, I used 4 cell phones, 2 of which were mine and 2 were borrowed. Now, that was a challenge, access to devices. Not all students, in terms of our school context, we have a very diverse student population, and due to the socioeconomic status, some of them are not fortunate as others in terms of getting access or being able to afford such devices. All right, so what I did in order to counteract that, I placed them in groups and we engaged in group work where each group was given a device as well as the merge cube to be able to take part in the lesson. Now they had to work together, so teamwork and all these things, which was some of my objectives. All right, we incorporated that. They worked together in terms of completing the task where they were required to use the merge cube to find out the functions, the look. So this also appealed to visual learners. All right, this was something that really enhanced my lesson, and I think that is something that we could all use later on in the future, provided that the internet connection and all these other aspects in terms of the accessibility of resources. Right now schools have laptops, not all have the smart devices that are compatible with these technological tools. They must be equipped with cameras and all that. All right, so internet connection being one. Now the school does have internet connection, but there are certain dead zones in the school and you do not get the access to the internet because the range is not that far. Now we have routers located all over the school, but they are not effective as they should be. The internet continuously crashes. So what I had to do was use my cell phone data, and data is limited. Not everyone has unlimited data, so that sometimes could be something that may not work in our favor. So what I did, my contingency plan in terms of using the videos and stuff, I had it pre-downloaded, as well as I'd use the cast to the screen, to cast my screen on the projector itself, and just use my device where students can see how the merge cube is used and still have that experience even if I did not get the use of the other cell phones. All right, so for future, those are some of the things. What I would recommend is the having that discussion with the admin in terms of having the available resources. I hope best they could put things in place for the access, and probably like a few tablets that they could have in place. All right, so something to ponder on.